The agency business model is a trap. This is Mike Kuch with Get Leverage. Let me explain to you what I mean. The agency business model is a trap. It's seductive because it's actually pretty easy to get started in, right? If you've got some marketing skills and you've got some talent, some experience, you can go out there and get clients pretty darn easily because there are a lot of businesses out there that are desperate for marketing help, especially with everything going digital so fast. There are so many businesses out there that are struggling to keep up. If you've got that knowledge and those skills, you can help them. But the problem is very, very few agencies actually get to that point where it's a real lucrative business where the business owner can, kind of step out of the day-to-day grind and make a lot of money. And of course, we see those in the media, right? They're very public. Gary Vaynerchuk right now is a perfect example. He's got this big, agency business, but even you can see he's working 24/7. Most entrepreneurs that I know start their business because they want more freedom. That's the number one reason that entrepreneurs say that they start a business. It's not because they want to be doing the grind 24/7 for a bunch of needy clients. So the agency business model, in almost all cases, you start an agency, you're working with smaller businesses, you're not getting big Madison Avenue contracts, and they're paying you maybe a handful of $1,000 a month, and it's really hard to get ahead that way, okay? And I know I've operated a couple of different businesses that work with a similar model, and I've had an agency myself. That kind of money, it makes it really hard to truly ever get ahead, particularly, again, if you're using the agency model where you're trading your time and your talent for dollars, usually on some sort of hourly basis. So it literally is that you're trading time. Time for money. And you'll do projects, and those projects may be bigger scopes and stuff like that, but the reality is they're based on time. They're based on some sort of hourly rate for you as the partner in the agency and the people that are working for you, where you're just kind of stacking up the hours and then turning it into a project. But the reality is you're still trading time. And I know I've worked with hundreds of agency owners, literally, and every single one of them that I know that you would probably look at and say is a success because they're doing 7 figures, mid 7 figures in their agency, is desperate to get out of it. They hate their business. They hate their clients. They hate their life that they've created as an agency owner because they are grinding 24/7, nights, weekends. They're not spending time with their kids because they've got needy clients, and all of their smart energy, their smarts, their energy, their time, their talent is being directed to their clients instead of building themselves a business that actually has scalability and is actually giving them the opportunity to increase their freedom instead of just tying them to needy clients and trading time for money. You don't want to be in a business where you're trading time for money. That's not why you became an entrepreneur. I'm almost 100% certain of it. So I encourage you, man, look for a different business model. Don't get sucked into the agency business model trap. Now, there's still plenty of opportunities to help businesses with marketing services. And that's what I suggest. You start a marketing services company, not an agency. And there's, you may think I'm just playing on words there, but there's a distinction there that's important. Agency work, you are acting as their representative. They are working with you. They're essentially buying you as a professional. You're just not employed by them, but you're billing them hourly. And that's what an agency business model is. They're tapping into your personal knowledge or the knowledge of your team. But that's what an agency business model is versus marketing services. You can provide all kinds of marketing services to businesses that aren't tapping into you personally, and it's not a trade of time for money. Okay, so think of all the different examples. Software platforms that are marketing software platforms, they're providing an excellent marketing service to businesses, but that's a crazy scalable, lucrative business model. Okay, much better than the agency business model. Advertising companies. Okay, look at the Yellow Pages or Yelp or any media property or sites like Groupon, right? Those aren't tapping into somebody's time and trading time for money. They're selling a service, but that service is disconnected from trading time. Okay? And I call that the time value chain. You've got to break that time value chain so that you have a business model that actually gives you freedom. And most importantly, it's a business that ultimately you can sell and transfer to somebody else for really good money. Because here's the other dirty secret, is all those agency owners that I know that want to get out of their business, they're stuck. They feel stuck because even at 7 figures, mid 7 figures, there's not a lot of buyers for an agency like that, and they're willing to pay very low prices for that agency. Why? Because they know what I'm telling you right now, that it's a very time and labor intensive business, and those clients are buying the agency owner largely. At that revenue point, they're still working with you personally, and they're really buying into their relationship with you. So that's not a very good asset to buy because you may walk out the door, right? So smart investors look for businesses that aren't tied to a single individual, and they aren't tied to that kind of labor intensive business. That's why software companies sell so well. That's why media companies sell so well. There are lots of opportunities, I call them services that scale, to create services that are not connected to trading time for money. So look, the agency business model is a trap. Stay away from it. If you're in it right now, find a way to transition aggressively to a more services that scale approach so that you can give yourself the freedom that you're looking for when you started your business in the first place. All right, this is Mike Kuch with Get Leverage. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in a future video.